Welcome to another episode of Squid Talks Tech. I'm your host, the Squid. On this episode, we have a very special guest, the CEO of Candela. I interviewed him about his company, what they do in the solar world, and everything about their company and coin. Let's check it out. All right, so we have here the CEO of Candela Coin, Shane Verdugo. Did I get that correct?
You did.
Cool. Welcome to Squid Talks Tech. You are the first interview we've had on the show. Mostly, I cover IoT devices, crypto miners, and other devices in the space. But I think a lot of my viewers are either aware or maybe unaware of what you're building over at Candela. So can you tell us a little bit about what Candela is and the coin and kind of how you started it, and maybe just a brief minute or two rundown of what it is?
Certainly. So Candela Coin is a cryptocurrency that allows people to buy and sell electricity in a peer-to-peer capacity, utilizing microgrids, IoT devices, and solar panels, obviously. So the idea is that someone with a solar panel on their roof will be able to have an alternative, another option than just net metering. Net metering, for those who don't know, is when you sell excess energy you produce from your solar panels, from your photovoltaic setup, back to the grid for cents on the dollar. When I say back to the grid, I mean back to the utility company like Pepco, or depending on which region you're in the United States or in the world. But this is a way so that those solar panel owners can not only generate a larger return for their solar energy, their excess solar energy, but people who don't have solar panels will be able to use solar energy to power their home and use cleaner energy. At the same time, like I said, the solar panel owner will get more money for it. And we feel that this can sort of expedite that shift to solar energy.
So I know a little bit about solar. Let's pretend I don't. So I have solar panels in my home. Mm-hmm. I gain that electricity. How do I give that electricity to someone else? Where is it stored, right, and how do I give it to someone else, or how do I transfer it?
Right. So we build microgrids, decentralized microgrids, independent of the existing grid within communities. So the homes would have to be essentially networked or interconnected within this microgrid, and the IoT devices through machine-to-machine communication act as like nodes in this network, transmitting data and information across networks. And of course, the homes and their meters are all connected through tri-cables and installation cables within that microgrid. So that's how the actual distribution of electricity goes from one home to another. But like I said, they all have to be interconnected through this microgrid. So some would say we're building like an alternative grid, but really it's a way that you can be self-sufficient and continue to produce power and electricity in times of chaos or crisis, or the rolling blackouts you see in California and Texas so frequently.
Copy. Okay, so you have to be connected to your neighbor. You can't just I can't get one of your devices and sell it to someone 20 miles. I can't ship them electricity, right?
No, maybe one day, Elon Musk will invent something you can do that. But as of right now, that's not a there's no technology that allows for that.
Copy. So most crypto projects being early is best. So assuming this project's very early, and is there I'm assuming you have a test grid somewhere, or you're building a prototype model of an area that is doing this?
So we're actually the first to do something like this on, like I said, in a peer-to-peer capacity. There are companies that have done this and worked with utility companies. So it was community managed solar panels, but it wasn't, neighbor to neighbor. It was, they would all collect from these solar panels that they had to manage, and it was run by the utility company. And it would be additional fees you have to pay to the power companies. And it wasn't, it wasn't pro-consumer, as I like to put it, or prosumer. We're actually building a microgrid in Sydney, Australia. And if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see a video and drone footage of that solar microgrid that we are building.
How many? How many homes or like how many areas are there within this grid? Like, are
So
there like
there are
multiple homes
this,
and they're all connected, or?
yeah, so that's what we're building right now, and it's only about 5 homes right now in this neighborhood. It's sort of the long, big plot of land in the outskirts of Sydney, Australia, and there's kangaroos. Actually, in the video, you'll see kangaroos hopping around the
Nice.
as the team is putting together this microgrid.
So how do they connect it? Do you dig and run cable underground, or you're just running regular power cable from home to home, or how do the grids
Right.
actually connect?
Well, and since we're just building the first one, it's all going to be above ground. Nothing will be below ground. So you're going to see, the tri cables and installation cables. But yes, in order to be aesthetically pleasing in the future, and if municipalities or particular locales want to, put this in their neighborhoods, and it's something you could run along, whether it be the ground or below, so that you don't see wires running across, additional wires, other than the power lines that are already there.
Copy. And so I'm a bit of a I own every single like IoT type of miner, Planet Watch, MXC, Helium, SC Prime, Holochain, anything that can low power, or like I have a small solar, I have a small mining company, and we focus on low power things. And that's one of the things that your company jumped off the screen for me was solar, mining, crypto,
Right.
everything. So I saw on the Telegram that there's an actual device you developed, right? Can you tell us about the device, and then maybe a little bit about like how it like saves the power, and maybe a bit of like speculatory of what the earnings could be for a device like this?
Right. So it can actually be utilized in 2 different ways. One is obviously in the microgrid from peer-to-peer electricity. It obviously acts as a smart meter so that it can mark various loads for consumption through an adjacent household, and then monitor loads, import, export, and keep an accurate accounting of everything that's going on within your solar devices in your home. At the same time, what got a lot of attention for us was this Candela solar powered crypto mining protocol that was actually picked up by Forbes magazine and was mentioned in an article in Forbes magazine, which is pretty cool. But that basically is your typical ASIC configuration, but using solar as the energy source, rather than taking energy directly right off the grid. It's a lot safer that way. It's a lot more, it's a lot cleaner that way, and leaves, obviously the carbon footprint is a lot less. But obviously for something like that, you can't use like 100 or 200 watt, panel. You're to get some serious computing power to actually, mine, you would need a pretty heavy PV setup.
And then would you be mining other coin, or can you mine Candela itself, or no?
No. So that would from Candela, no. We do have a reward system that rewards prosumers who produce a certain amount of kilowatts per month. So it's not technically mining, but there is a rewards program for the amount of kilowatts they produce per month. But as far as mining with our protocol, that would be for like Bitcoin mining, or other coins that are in fact mineable.
Makes sense. So like So I did see your guys' coin has kind of pumped recently, and it seemed to have kind of, I own a bit of the coin, and it made me a little bit of money, and I haven't sold any. I'm still in, but what was the conduit to kind of pump the coin? And I saw you guys did announce that there is a stock offering coming up, and I'm just kind of curious how you guys kind of picked up so much momentum recently.
Right. Well, it's because of I wouldn't say low key, but we were building our tangible products, like our partnerships with Lion Energy and Targray for the solar panels. They were in production for so long, and then COVID and due to supply chain issues, there was issues when it came to logistics. So nobody saw any tangible products for quite some time, even though us saying it's on the way, it's on the way. Same thing with the IoT device. We went through one firm in Shenzhen, China. It was a big, waste of money, and it wasn't able to operate effectively. So we had to contract a new firm based in Wales, United Kingdom. And
Copy.
so there's a lot of issues there. Whenever starting a new business and, kind of repurposing existing tech, but repurposing it for a different application, you're going to run into some obstacles, and, try to hit all the milestones that you lay out in the roadmap, but it's not always possible, especially when you're facing, like I said, logistic and supply chain issues, like we've experienced during this pandemic. But what really made the coin pump would be the release of that solar panel, with our logo on it. And then following that, the release of the IoT device. And then just a lot more liquidity on our dexes. And then, these new exchange listings, the stock offering that we actually did begin on 2 days ago, and we're almost sold out already. So it's a private stock offering, isn't it? It's still private equity. We haven't IPO'd yet on the Canadian Securities Exchange, but we plan to, we're trying to set a date with them for Q4. So just, in December, but if not, definitely by January.
So you mentioned two products, the solar panels and the IoT device. Are they available to purchase right now, or how do people get either the solar panels, the IoT device, or a combination of both?
Right. So they are going to be a bundle deal, but currently just the solar panels available on Amazon and a number of other solar device distributor sites. And the IoT device will be available for purchase. I hate giving a solid date when it hasn't happened yet, but I want to say Monday, November 1st, but I don't, if it's a day or two after that, don't hate me.
What's the price point?
On the IoT device, it's $350 US, and then on the solar panel, $99 US.
Oh, not bad at all, and pretty easy to set up, I assume. Could
oh yeah.
Do you have to be pretty handy, or can you just set it up?
You're going to want to follow the instructions laid out in the pamphlet, and we are also in the process of filming a video showing detailed the detailed method for setting it up.
Copy. Okay, so you got two devices, they're coming out. That's pretty exciting. So what's the long-term vision? So you got these devices coming out. Is the vision just everyone goes solar and everyone creates their own grids, or are there other future products on your mind, or devices or IoT devices that people can? Right. I like earning, and I always try to think of angles. So how do I benefit most from this project too?
Right. So in terms of our actual products, the longer term vision here would be to build solar microgrids in a number of key cities and neighborhoods in the United States, Central Europe, and Australia, and then other new emerging markets such as India and South Africa, whose governments are actually now incentivizing solar use through a number of benefits and subsidies. So those are the areas we really want to focus on right now. And we would like to build microgrids in all of them, the fully functional operational microgrids within small, I don't want to say test communities, because they'll be operational microgrids, but they won't be, it'll maybe be limited to a dozen or so households within that community. And then once they see it working and people are starting to make money, or it's just, the whole town is self-sufficient, and they're still having electricity and power during, inclement weather, and the rest of the city is, out of power. Once we do that, I think it's just going to grow exponentially, because surrounding communities are going to want what they have.
Sure. So so solar's taken off.
Yeah, absolutely. And once solar panel owners see the money they can make, more so than when they were, practicing net metering, they're going to want to jump on this as well.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So how do you get into this? How long has Candela been around? How do you get into it? What's your background? How do you end up starting a solar crypto earnings company?
Right. So Candela started and launched in August of 2020. So we're just a little over a year old. There were a lot of growing pains. We all made mistakes in the founding team, and we corrected those mistakes as time went on. But, we didn't have a smooth launch. There were a lot of, hiccups along the way. And we've now recently gained a lot more traction, and the coin price, like you mentioned, is, pumped quite a bit. I mean, from its low, it's up like over 30,000% from its all-time low, because it got really low there for a while, like December last year. And then my background prior to starting this company was I worked in IT sales. So I'd sell a number of cloud services and products. I was an account executive for a number of large SaaS companies. Yeah.
Very, very nice, man. I mean, that's all I really have. I just wanted to like show my users and give you guys a little kind of pump, because I'm pretty excited about the project. I bought a good amount of coin a couple weeks ago, and it's looking kind of nice. And I love the idea of solar, because all these miners are, if you want to mine Bitcoin, you're going to spend a lot of money on power. So
Right.
people are switching to solar, and it seems like the future. So, I mean, where can we find you? Discord and Telegram? Is that the kind of, is Telegram probably the best spot to
Telegram's
follow
best
the project?
spot. Our main discussion chat is at Candela Coin Discussion. And then, we're on Twitter, Reddit. Everything's just at Candela Coin.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining the show, Avishane Verdugo, CEO of Candela. We'll revisit this conversation again as the project grows, but I wanted to chat with you nice and early, and then once we'll talk to you after the November 1st-ish launch of the IoT device, and kind of see how everything goes. But good luck with the launch, and we wish your project the best of luck.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed the interview with the CEO of Candela, Mr. Avishane Verdugo. Feel free to follow them on their Telegram, Candela Coin. See, I'm getting into solar. I got my solar-powered phone charger, and I just love what this company's doing. I love the idea of anything low-power mining. And if you can earn by doing solar, get into it. No financial advice here whatsoever, but I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm the Squid. Peace.